I know when it comes to Festool tools, everyone's a critic. But generally, I love it. If you don't, that's fine. If you've got one, this actually could be useful. If it's particularly rough in terms of how it's running, obviously you heard how this is running, and it kind of sounds like your first car that you never looked after. Anyway, it needs hopefully just the brushes changing. With hindsight, I probably should have sent this off to Festool just before the warranty ran out and let them have a look at it over under warranty. But I didn't. Lesson learned. I don't want to buy a new one, particularly at the moment. I'm getting by with my, let's face it, awesome Hikoki multi-volt circular saw. But I've got a job coming up where I need to work in the client's home, and I want this for the dust extraction. So I've gone and got some brushes. I'm going to be using the genuine official branded Festool ones. Probably could have got generics, probably would have cost a lot less, but to be honest, if these don't work, then that's not the problem. They cost less than a tenner. What can go wrong? I looked on YouTube, I couldn't find a single video on how to change the brushes on a TS55. No idea why. If it helps, great. If it doesn't, hopefully you are entertained for a couple of minutes. So let's crack on with this. Okay, so let's get another little run. Definitely not liking that. Right, the first thing we'll do is unplug it. It just kind of seems intuitive. And then the brushes actually are in this part here. Can you see that on camera one? Yeah, just under this cap here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these 4 screws out. And I know this is Festool and people love a bit of tool porn, so let's crack on with this. In case anyone's looking to do this and the screw heads are a bit weird, this is actually a Torx T15 size bit to fit in these screws, he says. There we go. Four. Take that off, and here is all the wiring. Let's get a little light on that, hopefully. That should illuminate things a bit better for you. Can you see that better? I'll try not to cast a shadow over it, but if I do, apologies. So here's the brushes. This is the commutator armature thingy spinny bit. Motors in here. They're the brushes, and all these little wires actually fit in their own little kind of funky little bits to keep it all tidy, which is kind of cool. In there, a bit in there. Right, it's a spade connector for that one. There's another spade connector here for this one. So we need to disconnect those because it's not going very far. Otherwise, it's a bit dusty in here as well. That would be 6 years of use and dodgy maintenance. Well, I say dodgy. Non-existent, really. Pop that out of the way there. That screw is going to hold that in. Hopefully the same size. Is it the same size? Yep, it is. Pull you out, tweak. And get that blue wire out of the way there. Oh. And the red wire as well. Come on, red wire. Pull you out of the way. Just get you up there. Put that out of the way. So 6 screws, and okay, I was expecting it to come out a little bit easier than that.
pull that back off there, take the tension off it, and then there we go. Jake. Let's have a look. Doesn't look too worn. Looks like there's plenty on there. Let's have a look at the new ones. Like I said, these are actual genuine. This is the genuine part number here, 491704. There is I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a website computer system where you can look up all the parts for all the Festol items to get the genuine bit to order it. And this came from a Festol dealer as well, so I knew it was going to be an actual Festol part. Oh, that's interesting. Can you see that in the camera? Can you see that? It's got little grooves in there. So these are the two new ones. There's the old one. So that's the old one, shiny and smooth. And then these are the two new ones, which have got like these little grooves in them. How does it compare? Wow. Wow. Can you see the difference in? I'm actually surprised. There's not a lot of difference there. Anyway, let's get these old ones out. Yeah, so it basically pushed it up against the motor so it was flat, and then pushed it down and it came out. So they're all in. Put these little screws back in. Genuinely first attempt. Well, it's definitely working. When you're ready. And actually, that run, that's the third time it's run, just sounded a bit better than the first two times. So I don't know if it kind of needs a bit of a run in with the new brushes. You definitely get that kind of like new motor smell. For anyone that had model trains as a kid, you'll know what I mean. Yes, I just admitted to having model trains as a kid, and do you know what? Still got them. Still enjoy them as well. Anyway, that's another story. So it worked. I don't think it worked. I don't know, actually. That third one was a bit of a... Up until that third one, I was going to say it wasn't quite as good as I was expecting in terms of... I was listening to the kind of like the growl that's behind the whine. If you know what I mean, if you listen back to there's kind of two noises going on when this runs. It's like the whine of the blade and the growl of the motor. And originally, the original sound, I'll play it now. Do you know what I mean? That original, before changing the brushes, it's got much more of a growl to it. So the third run did definitely sound a lot better. So I'm really glad of that. I mean, like I said, it cost me less than a tenner for new brushes. And what's the saw? 400 quid, something like that now. I can't honestly remember. But if that gets another 4 years use out of it, I'll be more than happy. So hopefully that helps somebody, or at least you learned something, or maybe it gave you something to think about changing your own brushes, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, that literally took 10 minutes. No doubt there's going to be, yeah, they're already there, aren't they? Festol comments. But yeah, you know, actually, I don't care what you think. You do get what you pay for, and you have to pay a bit more for these. And if you think Festol's expensive, just go Google Mafel.